Hi, I'm Dean. Welcome to the first episode of SalesCafeTV.com here at the global headquarters of Sales Cafe TV, otherwise known as my kitchen table. I'm here with Keith Sanders, who is a leadership and communications consultant, and we are going to talk for a little bit about selling and how Keith sells.
Very good.
I got a couple questions if you just want me to dive
Shoot,
right in.
man, shoot. Go for it.
Okay. I know that you've done speaking professionally and consulting for 10, 11 years now.
About 10 years.
How have you made some of your most lucrative contacts?
You know, it's not just in the speaking business, but also I've given this advice to people who are not in the speaking business either, the speaking and consulting businesses. The speaking really does bring in new prospects or people who may be looking for my services.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's true in a lot of other industries too. You know, if you have a product to sell, you can sell without selling.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into a meeting, and sometimes I suggest that people go to like a Rotary club, or Rotary meets every week, and they're always looking for speakers. And that was one of the first things that was given, first pieces of advice that was given to me as someone wanting to get into the speaking and consulting business, was to speak everywhere you can, because people, if you want them to buy your consulting service or buy your speaking services, to come in and speak to their group, they got to see you. They got to see you in action. So, as a speaker, it just makes sense for me to speak to groups, and then people contact me afterwards. But it also works in other industries as well.
Okay. So, for some of your largest contacts, you were in front of them speaking. How did you transfer them from, hey, I saw you talk to the Rotary, I'm assuming you speak for free at the Rotary. How do you turn that, just them seeing you, into, hey, this is all of a sudden a big client?
You know, it's been a couple things. Sometimes it's as simple as they call me and say, I saw you and my company needs you. So sometimes that happens, and I love when that happens. Other times it's in the follow-up, and that's one of the basics, is going back and following up with potential clients. But really, sometimes just a simple phone call. If you're able to get the phone numbers or the business cards of the people attending, or even an email address to follow up with, and just say, thanks for coming to the program. Hope you enjoyed, my presentation, and just to reinforce, here were the 2 or 3 key bits of information that I shared with you.
Okay.
That's always good to include in that too, just to reaffirm that yes, you got some value. I gave you some value in that speech. And then, if I could be of any service to you, here's my contact information. Just another opportunity to get in front of them, either via email or phone call or something of that sort.
Okay. As a solopreneur, I hate that word. It doesn't roll off the tongue very easily. How do you keep yourself motivated on a daily basis? Or do you keep yourself motivated on a daily basis?
That's that's a tough one, and I always remember what Zig Ziglar said about people say, oh, I don't want to go hear a motivational speaker because motivation, it doesn't last very long. I sent my people, sometimes I'll hear managers or supervisors or owners of businesses, oh, I sent a bunch of people to a motivational speaker, and they were pumped up for a few weeks, but after that it was back to the same old thing. And Zig Ziglar said in response to that, well, that's why, motivation or getting motivated by a motivational speaker or someone else is like bathing. We recommend it daily. I love that response he has to that mindset. I think finding a support group, finding a group of people who are like-minded, whether that's a professional group, most There's a tons of associations out there for, administrative assistants, for people who are, business owners who are, have small businesses. There are tons of associations out there. All you got to do is just type into Google association and then whatever your industry is.
Mm-hmm.
So finding other people who think like you, and for me, that's been being a member of National Speakers Association, and
Mm-hmm.
just knowing that I'm not alone in this. There's other people that are interested in doing the same thing I'm doing.
Right.
So having that support group is probably one of the biggest things. Just surrounding yourself with family and friends so that you don't lose focus on why you're doing what you're doing.
Right. And one more question. And
Sure.
I intend on asking this pretty much every time I interview somebody.
Okay.
What do you tell people when they tell you that's too much money?
Well, I think a lot of times, without beating myself up, I think it's a reflection on me that I haven't obviously provided the value or shown them the value, and that's why years ago I heard this little tip, and I think it's genius. When quoting the price,
Mm-hmm.
when you get around to talking price, or whenever somebody says, well, what's this going to cost, at any point during the conversation, as soon as you give the price, how much you think this is going to cost, you say, do you know what that includes? I love
like
that
that.
line. I love that line,
That is
because
great.
then it gives you an opportunity for them to say, no, I don't know what that includes. And you go, well, great, I'm about to tell you. It includes this, it includes this, it includes this. And so it gives you an opportunity with their permission, because
Mm-hmm.
they just said, no, I don't really know what that includes.
Right.
It gives you an opportunity with their permission to tell them everything that includes. And so even if you've already covered some of those things, it gives you an opportunity to just summarize it for them.
I like that. As a salesperson, I've never used that, but I can tell you, probably on Wednesday, I'm going to use that. I've got some meetings in Atlanta that will, I'm sure that's going to come up. I like it. Well, that was it for episode 1. Do you have anything you want to say to the 3 people who are going to watch this?
Just my honor to be a part of this, especially the inaugural video.
The inaugural video.
Thumbs up.
Very good. You want to let people know how to get in touch with you?
Very simple. KeithSanders.com. KeithSanders. SAN as in Nancy, D as in David, ERS. Sanders is in the Colonel, no relation. KeithSanders.com.
Very good. Thanks.